It's middle grade March, TBR time. Stay tuned. Hi, this is MaryEllen with Portraits of Me, and today I'm so excited to share with you my middle grade March TBR. Yay! I can't believe it's March already. So I apologize, my video is going up a bit late, but you know how it goes. You have good intentions, but sometimes you just don't make those deadlines. However, I am so excited to be participating in middle grade March, and I want to thank Katie and Krista for hosting this month-long readathon. So I have picked my TBR, and I'm so excited to share with you what books I'm going to be reading for the full month of March. However, I am doing mine a little bit different than maybe you're doing yours, because I decided to do 2 TBR piles for the challenges. And the reason why is because I want to do one with the physical book, and I want to do one on audio. So I'm going to pick a TBR for physical, a TBR for audio. However, when I listen to my audio, I will still be reading the physical book as the audio is playing, just because I know I'm kind of weird when it comes to this, but I cannot listen to an audio by itself, because when I do, my mind tends to wander, and before I know it, the story is continued on without me. So in order to keep my mind on the story, I have to read the book while listening to the audio. So let me share those 2 TBRs with you. Okay, so the first category, or the first challenge, is to pick a book with illustrations in it. And so for my physical TBR, I am picking this book right here. It is called Melamander, and it's by Thomas Taylor. So this book sounds so interesting. I cannot wait to read it, because it's about something that lives in the deep, dark ocean. And I'm not sure what else it's about, but that's intriguing enough. So let me see if I can find, oh, look at this, is a good picture. So here's one illustration, and let's see if I can find another example of an illustration for you. Ooh, here's one. So it looks like the illustrations are black and white, but they're very interesting. And so this is a book I'm going to be reading in March. Now on the reverse side of this is the audio. And for the audio, I picked this book right here. This is The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. And I've been wanting to read this one for quite a while, and I just haven't read it, but I've heard such good things about this book. This book reminds me of Ocean's 11, because you have a group of people and there's like a card game and gambling, I think. I don't know if it's actually gambling, because it's a children's book, but you never know. So this one has illustrations in it as well. So let me share a few of those with you here. So see, he has cards, so it must be some kind of card game they're going to be hustling people with. But so this is the book I'm going to be listening to audio. And this one says, when street magician Carter runs away, he never expects to find friends and magic in a sleepy New England town. So that's this book right here. Okay, so the second challenge is to read a book that tells about another book or has a book in the story. And so for my physical TBR, I'm picking this book right here. It is Ban This Book. And I am so looking forward to reading this one, because this is about a girl who's in middle grade, and one of her favorite books is banned off their reading list. And that book is one of my favorite books that I enjoyed reading when I was growing up. So I thought this would be a fun one to read, because it includes that book. And the book that was banned was The Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. Do you guys remember that book? It was such a fun book in middle grade for me. So I thought this would be a fun one to read about it being banned in this school and a girl trying to get it off the ban list. Now for the audio, I'm picking this book right here. This book is The Forbidden Library. Doesn't that look so interesting? So this book right here is about a girl who ends up at her grandfather's house, I believe. It says, Alice always thought fairy tales had happy endings. That changed after she met her first fairy hovering in the kitchen, threatening her father. The next day, her father left, never to return. And I think she goes to her uncle, not her grandfather. It seems Uncle Grayson is much more than he claimed to be. So I'm looking forward to reading this book about books in a library. Okay, so the next challenge is to read a mystery. So for my physical TBR, I am picking Lock and Key. This is the first book in actually a series by Ridley Pearson, and this first book is called The Initiation. And I think this book has like a Sherlock Holmes kind of connection to it, I believe. So it says here, James is one of the greatest criminal masterminds the world has ever known. But before he became the scheming, remorseless villain he is now, he was just my older brother, James. Oh, it does have Sherlock Holmes. So it says down here, at Bakersville, an elite private boarding school founded by our ancestors, James started drifting to the darkness. It was there he met his roommate, the insufferable Sherlock Holmes. So that should be really fun. And then the mystery I'm listening to on audio is this book right here. It is called Scaling by David Almond. This one is supposed to be like a creepy kind of mystery. It says, man, bird, or angel, who or what is Scaling? Michael was looking forward to moving into a new house. It was all going to be wonderful. But now his baby sister's ill, his parents are frantic, and Dr. Death has come to call. Ooh, so that sounds good. So this is the audiobook for a mystery. The fourth challenge is to read a book in another country. So I'm located in the United States, so I picked 2 books in different countries. The first book I picked to read physically is this book right here, The Boy on the Wooden Box. So this one I believe is like a World War II, and it says How the Impossible Became Possible on Schindler's List. Ooh, sounds pretty good. So looking forward to reading this one. I think it might be an actual historical fiction kind of book. So looking forward to reading it. And then for my audio, I picked this fun little book right here. It is called Whittington, and it's about some animals in a barn. But I believe the barn's not in the United States because there's a map on here. I think there is a map. There's a map, and I don't see the United States. So I'm figuring this is in a different country. So that's what this book is about. A cat and some barn animals, and that's about all I know, but it sounds fun. And it should be fun on audio too. Now the last challenge is to pick a book that has been made into a movie. And so for the physical book that I'm going to be reading for that challenge is this one right here. It is called The Sword in the Stone. This is one of my favorite Disney cartoons. I love Disney's adaptation of this book. So I'm looking forward to reading this book and seeing how the cartoon was inspired by this story. And also this one has beautiful illustrations in it as well, because at first I was thinking of using it for my illustration book. Isn't that gorgeous? But then I decided to just pick another book and use this one for the movie adaptation. Now for the audio, I'm choosing this book right here. It is called The BFG. And I just hit myself with that book, but that's okay. This one is a really cute movie. I think that Disney did as well. I'm not sure. But there's a movie written after this book about the big friendly giant. And so I'm looking forward to reading the book because I've never read the book. I have seen the movie, however. So I'm looking forward to see how closely the movie and the book are, or if they're totally different. So that's my book to movie book of choice for audio. So that's a total of 10 middle grade books for the month of March, which I think I can do because middle grade's not that hard to read, right? So crossing my fingers, I'll get all those read. And if I do, I have a bonus book. It's not the group book. I don't have a copy of that book, and I didn't have time to get to my local library. So instead, I picked this book as my bonus if I get through all of these books. And this book is The Dark Secret of Weatherfred. Oh no, sorry. Weather End. So this one is by John Bellairs, and I follow a booktuber, Richard, who totally loves John Bellairs books, and he inspired me to find one and buy one and to read one. So this is going to be my first book I've read by this author that he adores and that he loves. He does a wonderful job of selling this author, so I'm looking forward to reading this book. And this one I believe is about a curse about snow on some city or something like that. So it says, when Anthony Monday and Miss Els find J.K. Borkman's diary, they think it contains the ravings of a lunatic, but soon violent hailstorms and blizzards rage across the land, and they must accept the frightening words. Borkman's son, carrying on his father's work, intends to turn the world into an icy wasteland. Wow, that one sounds really good. This one will actually fulfill some challenges in the middle grade March challenges because it's a mystery. It's a book about a book because it just said it was a diary, and I guess it would fulfill two challenges, the mystery challenge and the book within a book challenge, if you did want to read this one for middle grade March. Okay, so that's all the books I'll be reading in March that are middle grade. However, I do also want to continue reading The Fellowship of the Ring, which is the second book in the Lord of the Read-Along that we're doing with Krista and a group of other booktubers. I'll put that information below if you are interested in joining that as well. February and March is dedicated to reading Fellowship of the Ring, and then the schedule continues with the other two books in the series. So it's still not too late to jump on board and do that read along with us. So I'll put that information in the description box below as well. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. If you are participating in middle grade March, please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you have a YouTube channel and you made a video about your middle grade March TBR, leave that below too, because I would love to support you and follow your channel and watch your video. Also, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you heard of any of these books or if you enjoyed any of the books that I mentioned. Just don't leave any spoilers in that comment box below. And as always, you guys, have a great morning, day, evening, or night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! And that's my video for today, sharing all the books that I'm going to be reading in March. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to receive your thumbs up. Also, if you are